Welcome back to JCE Connect. Today we'll see on mobility management. Okay, the process of operation in which once the mobile will be moving from one cell to another cell. Okay, we call it as an intracell or intercell. Okay, what will be the difference among the both? Okay, let us assume that if your mobile phone is under the service of node B1, there's a one more cell, it is formed by B2. If both the nodes are connected with the same RAN, radio access network. Now assume that your mobile phone is under the service of B1, and if it is in mobility, if it is go to the second cell B2, means change over from B1 to B2 under the same RAN. We call it as an intra-cell mobility, and it is called as X2 interface. Okay. Now similarly, if I have two cells B1 and this is B2, and this is also connected with RAN1, RAN2, and this will be connected with RAN1. And if your mobile phone is in B1 cell, and if it is in a mobility, if it go to the next cell B2, how the changing operation here from B1 to B2, also from RAN1 to RAN2, we call it as an intercell mobility. We call this one as a SI interface. I hope this concept is clear. SI and X2 interface. We'll see how the steps will be performed under the SI and X2 interface. Now this is a step of operation. This is the timing signal operation, we call it as. Now as we know, this is your user equipment. All the way it is connected to the source node, and this source node, if the user equipment, it is moving from source to target, means it is a destination. Each source node is connected with a source MME. There is a mobility management entity, and this is the target entity. If all the source, target and source MME are all connected to the target MME. The common will be with the target MME. Source nodes are different and source MME will be different. Now once the request will be came from user equipment, there is a handover request. We call it as a handover, means it will be moving from one cell to another cell, which is called a handling process. We call it as a handover condition. A request will be transmitted to from source node to the source MME, and in turn source MME will send a request to its target MME, because there is a common target MME for all the sources in this condition. And this target MME, because the target MME is also connected with the destination, and it will send a signal like this, so that there is a request from the one user equipment for the handover, and you need to take it over back. Now the request will be handover request will be arrived at the target. Depends on availability, it will respond back. That is called acknowledgement, yes or no. Let us say that it is give a check mark, yes, acknowledged. The response will be derived from the target. It will reach all the way to the source, so that there is a confirmation of request for the handover. It will be reaches to the source. You are able to hand over to the next person. The check mark is arrived, and the command will be sent to the user equipment in the form of handover command. Once the handover command is received at the user equipment, it will transfer it to the source node. It will transfer to there's a source MME. Once it is sent to the source MME, means it is ready to give it back. Immediately the target MME, it will signal to the target, there is a targeted node B to take it over back. This is how the step of operation will be happening here. So in between this one, the channels are required for communication purpose, and it will be provided for the mobile operation, so that it will take the data and it will transmit the operations. Okay, now the corresponding the timing operation will be given in the form of steps. First step, preparation phase, in which handover and a target MME and E node B have been identified. Which node and which MME to be identified, wherein which it has to be moving. The second one, the MME sends a handover request to the target E node B, requesting it to set up the appropriate resources for the user equipment. Okay, that is requirement, it will be sent to the user equipment. Once the resources have been allocated at the target E node B, it sends handover request ACK to MME. Means the target, there is a destiny E node B, it will send it back through acknowledgement. And this message is received by MME, so that it will send a handover command to the user equipment via the source node B, because your user equipment still is under the control of a source node. All the way it will be communicated to the source node, and it will send. Okay, now the mobile phone, you can, it is telling like this, mobile phone you can able to move the handover condition. Okay, through what? Source. Okay, in the second phase, there is an execution phase. Upon UE receives the handover command, it responds by performing the various RAN related procedure that is required for the handover processing. Through what? Through the channel. Through which channel? RACH channel. Okay. In the second step of this, while the user equipment performs the handover, the source E node B initiates the status transfer, where the PDCP context of the user equipment is transferred to the target E node B. Similarly, if the user equipment, okay, is under the call, from what? From the source E node B, all the way this source node B has to be transmitted onto the target E node B. Okay, means through what? Through PDCP it will be transferring all the data will be transferred from one node to another node. Okay, through the PDCP buffer and the data packets. Once the status and data have been transferred to the target E node B, and the user equipment is able to establish a RAB, okay, that is a radio access bearer, okay, through the E node B, that is with the target node B. It plays a very important role for the handover messages, since the information will be transferred through the RANB. Okay, once the channeling has been provided and the data packets are also transferred, it will enter into the completion phase. In the completion phase, E node B receives the handover confirm message and sends the handover notify message to the MME. Okay, to which one? To the source MME, and the MME then informs the source E node B to release the resources originally used by the UE. Because once the confirmation is completed, okay, because there's one more new source MME is ready to give the service, all the previous MME, okay, holding the data has to be released, because it is not keeping all the channels with the corresponding for the user equipment. Everything has to be get released. Okay, now this is the context of a X2 mobility, in which it is a intra. Okay, I hope in the intra there need not be any like a target MME, because the same MME will be there. Okay, is a default mode of operation, in which, okay, how the request will be now? User equipment, okay, user equipment to source, because you are changing just a node, target node B, and from this target node B it will send a acknowledgement. Okay, this acknowledgement is initiated by MME. Okay, and it will go to the handover command. It is in the form handover command. Once the handover command is received here, equipment, then E node B, it will send the status of this. Means whatever the status of this user equipment, it will be transferred to the E node B. There is a target E node B. Once it is received here, okay, then the handover will be performed to this target node B. Okay, this is quite simple here because there is a common RAM. Okay, and there is a change is only the cell. Okay, from one node to another node. Okay, this is how the X2 mobility will be performed here. Okay, this is what the steps of operation here. Once the handover decision has been made by source E node B, it sends handover request message to the target E node B. Okay, who will be giving a request? It will be all the way it is generated from user equipment to the nearby base station. There is a E node B, and it will send it to the target E node B. The target E node B, upon receipt of this message, works with the MME and SGW. There is a gateway, okay, to set up a resource for the UV, because it has to set up a new resources to the user equipment through what? SGW, and set up a resource based on RAB. That is a bearer services, which makes quick handover and seamless connections. Okay, then the target E node B, upon receipt of this message, works with the MME and SGW to set up a resource for the user equipment. It will shift back to the resource B. Okay, in the execution phase, upon receiving the handover request ACK, there is acknowledgement. The source E node B sends a handover command to the user equipment. Okay, because the backend of like a MME is ready to give a service. Okay, now immediately the source E node B, it will give a command. Okay, there is a handover command. It is ready to give a handover condition. There is a handover operation. Upon this one, user equipment completes the various RAN related handover procedure. There is a set of procedure will be completed, during which, because RAN is common, only the nodes will be changing. The source E node B starts the status and data transfer to the target E node B. Okay, the meantime, okay, whatever the data is happened or is performing on E node B, that is a source node B, it will be getting transferred onto the target E node B. Okay, under the completion phase, once the user equipment completes the handover procedure, it sends a handoff complete message to the target E node B. It means it is completely released from the source node. Okay, and then the target E node B sends a path switch request to MMES SGW, indicating that it is just rolled from one node to another node. Through what? Through E node B. Okay, to the target node B. And then hence in the step, the data path in the user plane is switched. The target E node B sends a message to the source E node B to release the resources originally used by the user equipment. Okay, because who will be holding the resources? There is a source, it has to release it. Okay, that is in LTE. There is an additional feature called selective retransmission, okay, which is enabled where the target E node B may not retransmit the PDCP process packet that were forwarded but were acknowledged by the user equipment after the status transfer was initiated. Okay, there is like a selective retransmission. Okay, depends on like a condition of like a PDCP, it will initiate, okay, and it will transfer the data packets. Okay, this is what like how, okay, in which in the X2 mobility, okay, in the X2 mobility, a lossless, okay, handover for one or more of the RABs. In this case, the both PDCP processed and unprocessed packets are sent to the target E node B. If there is like in between, there is like some of the data packets are not processed. Okay, it will be transmitted to the target E node B, so that it will be processed and given back to the new E node B. Okay, there is like additional feature what we call as a selective. Okay, similarly, there is like a RAN procedure for the mobility will be available. Okay, this is what how the mobility management that is intra and intercell. For inter it will be SI, for intra it will be X2 interface. Make sure that the timing diagram has to be systematically identified. Okay, there's intra, there is like a common RAN, for inter different RAN. Okay, I hope you understood today's class. Thank you.